And now I believe we're going to get the podcast started. We're going to bring everybody out here. Do we have enough microphones? Yes, we do. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, they're doing the projectors. We didn't plan this part, so now I'm just going to ramble, and we're good? All right, I'm going to bring everybody out. Ladies and gentlemen, let me reintroduce Mr. Mike Rainey and John Del Calo. Let them hear it.
We're back, bitch. God, I'm so glad you still got that O.J. Simpson jersey on. All right, guys, Phillies update, still nothing in the third. Yep. All right, we spent the past week in Florida. Florida is easily my favorite state in the United States. Did you guys have a good time?
I had a good time, but it's definitely in the lower 40 for me. I don't fucking like that place, dude.
Terrifying.
I don't know why you like it so much.
Jake, do you like Florida?
I'm actually going back Sunday.
Oh, you pervert.
He loves it.
Yeah.
You fucking pervert. I don't love it that much. No, but I had a blast. We saw some fucked up shit.
I think scoot up a little bit.
Okay.
Can everybody see us?
Oh.
Okay. We good? Everybody sees us?
Do you want me to undo my pants, too?
Jesus.
All right, I don't know what got into me, man. I had 2 fucking Heineken Zeros, and I don't know what to do with myself.
Woo!
But, yeah, we went to Florida, and our goal for the trip was to go to Halloween Horror Nights, which is this cool thing that Universal does, which was a ton of fun. But more importantly, objective number 1 was to track down the love of my life, the beautiful Casey Anthony. I told you this was a safe space. If you want to hoot and holler about her now, go for it.
It's insane to hear an applause break for Casey Anthony. I'm more terrified now than I was in Florida.
Dude, when Butterly and I went to Chicago this year to do Zanies, I mentioned John Wayne Gacy, who's from Chicago, and the crowd erupted like he was a Cubs legend. So yeah, Casey Anthony, super hot. Again, R. Kelly, I don't like what R. Kelly did, but I do like what he does to my body, so... But yeah, we went there. We went to fucking Casey Anthony's house. That was the primary objective, to try to find her. Do you want to talk about what we did there, or?
Should we?
I don't know.
I think they want to know a little bit. Yeah, we can give them a little taste.
All right.
There you go.
So we went there looking for Casey Anthony. It turns out she doesn't live there anymore, but an angry old man does who doesn't like fucking retard podcasters poking around.
This guy never leaves his front yard.
Dude.
It was fucked up, dude.
His garage is always open, and he has a hammer in his hand 24/7.
Dude, how funny would it have been if, Jake, you would have been the one to get beat to death with a hammer?
You think so?
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, I would have talked him up for like some, Fig Newtons or something.
I would have been so jealous of you if you were the one that got killed outside of Casey Anthony's house, man. You fucking pig. But we also, the other thing that was scarier than the fucking Casey Anthony experience was we went to and stayed in for a little while Aileen Wuornos's old motel room in Port Orange, Florida.
That place is fucking bad. That is a bad place to be.
Everything about it is fucked up, from the way it looks, the way it smells, the vibe, even the fucking manager. As soon as we got to Aileen Wuornos's old motel, we showed up. We had no idea like how to check in because nobody was there. It seemed like it was fucking haunted until finally like this 80-year-old Indian dude emerged from the shadows.
Clearly on meth.
Dude, I wanted to pull him aside because I'd never seen an old Indian guy on meth before and say like, dude, this meth is strictly for honkies. What are you ruining your life for? Don't do this to yourself. Let us ruin ourselves with this shit. But he let us in the room, and for the next 6 hours, we sat in that room and we filmed something special. And you might have seen the video of Jake mushing women's underwear into John's face on Instagram.
Did you guys see that video?
I have to add, those were game-worn underwear by Jake that he had mushed into John's face.
Those are Walmart Ladies 5X, if you were wondering.
Yeah, we had gone to Walmart. Do we want to?
They were $1, by the way. Oh, no, we don't have to tell anymore. We could just.
All right, cool, yeah. But yeah,
you know, in a horror movie, when like you see like they hire like an exorcist or a psychic, and they come in the house and like, oh, this is a bad, evil house. That was the feeling the whole time in this motel room, for sure.
Bad juju in there.
Well, dude, it was that,
easy,
and then
easy.
there were, as the day progressed and as nightfall came about, there were more and more meth heads lurking in the parking lot.
of every persuasion.
It was kind of nice that everybody was on meth.
Yeah,
It's like,
it was Epcot around the world of 9 hotel rooms. There's a Nordic meth head here. What the fuck?
dude, what if meth is what unites us all?
There was a guy earlier in the day who just rode up on a bike and sat on a chair like he was Huck Finn and had that whole haircut like that guy who owns the Raiders.
Oh, yeah, Mark Davis.
Yeah.
You gotta look him up. The guy who owns the
that
Raiders.
guy's hair was beautiful.
Fucked up. And
Enviably straight.
He just said he's riding a bike in bare feet, slapping his feet on the concrete. And what did he say to you when you started eating your burger?
Chow time.
He said, "Chow time, huh?"
Which is the last thing you want to fucking hear. From a barefoot dude in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're in a motel by the
I was gonna
bay.
eat this cheeseburger, but I just lost my appetite, buddy.
And what happened? Dude, remember what happened? The guy, like, there was another hotel room that a dude was knocking on for like 20 minutes. Nobody answers, and then finally some guy emerges, looks way more physically fit than I do, and not a hard thing, but he comes out of the room.
You should try meth.
And what's he? P90 meth.
Jake, at least consider a 3-month meth challenge.
Dude, I'm trying. I'm thinking about it. But he came out of the room and he started yelling at the guy, Buck Finn.
Buck Finn.
Go Buck in
Remember?
the chat.
He was like, he's like, you're supposed to be selling. And
Yeah,
he started,
I heard that.
He started eyeing up the guy's bike. He's like, does this thing have a motor? He's like, care if I give it a test spin? And
He was offended when
Yeah.
he was asked if it had a motor, and he was like, "Nah, baby, that's all me powered." And he slapped his calf, and the motherfucker was walking on broomsticks. I don't know what he was so proud of. He was like, "That's all. That's how you think I got these." I was like, "Bro, those things are gonna break in the wind."
Yeah.
He was a fucked up looking guy.
Yeah.
I want to be him for Halloween next year.
But yeah, we had to deal with all those guys, and it got especially scary when nightfall happened because the thing that we were filming was just taking longer than we anticipated because for so many different reasons. Like Danny was doing all the technical stuff by himself.
Yeah.
We refused to sit down on anything because it was so disgusting.
Yeah.
I think I sat on that bed and I swore I had bed bugs. For
Jake
like
took a
3
nap,
days.
so.
Yeah.
But we're sitting on the bed, and Jake was dressed in a certain way. The only thing that I will say about it, I want you guys to see the video, but the only thing that I will divulge is that Jake did have on those women's underwear that you saw in the video.
Yeah.
And there was a guy lurking outside the window who we could tell at what point he actually peeked into the window because he saw Jake sitting there in the women's underwear because he started cracking up, laughing harder than anybody who I've ever heard laugh before.
Dude. You know that feeling when you hear someone laugh and you're like, oh, that's about me. Like that was that moment.
That's about my pussy. But we had a lot of fun in Florida, and the reason why I'm bringing up Florida is because tonight's mini stinker is from...
Let's not get carried away, buddy. We got a coin to flip.
Oh, I forgot, yeah.
That is a two-sided coin. You guys
It's
can
an
all
OJ
see.
Slammer. We got to get a picture together with this after the
Hell
show.
yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have merch after the show. We'll have the merch booth set up. Come get pictures and hang out with us while we watch the game.
We're going to have locks of O.J. Simpson's hair for sale, so if anybody...
All right, here we go.
Okay,
If
go
I
ahead.
win the toss, we're gonna do an impractical joker.
Yep, that's the deal.
And if you win the toss, if I lose the toss,
Here, I'll hold your mic.
Okay.
Come on, baby.
Lady Luck, be on my side.
One side's O.J., one side's Nicole. O.J., baby!
Woo!
All right, we're getting a sticker tonight.
God damn it.
You guys seem disappointed. Like you really wanted to hear.
Everybody wants an Impractical Jokers
Everybody,
episode at some point.
Jogato, everyone.
I have to tell you this before we move forward with tonight's stinker, but my wildest dream is to become successful enough as to where I could ask one of the actual jokers to just come over one day and blindfold John and have him walk in on one of the Impractical Jokers sitting on our couch.
That would be-
Jesus.
You want to see it? You want to see a soft cum? That's the ticket.
That's the ticket.
Is that rhetorical, or do you guys want to see a soft come right now?
Show me a joker. And
All
I'll
right.
make you a baby.
Do you think you have any kids floating around out there?
I hope so.
All right, so tonight's stinker is from DeLand, Florida, and it's a gentleman by the name of Colby Allen Parker. Does anybody recognize that name? Yeah. Do you really?
Yeah?
You know? Oh, those fuckers. God damn it.
It wasn't at Philly Rappers, was it? No. All right. Thank God.
So this gentleman is named Colby Allen Parker. And Jake, most importantly in my research on Colby Allen Parker, he did something awful, but perhaps he murdered his grandfather. But perhaps worse than murdering his grandfather was he was a white rapper.
Oh,
What?
No.
Yeah.
That's a life sentence, baby.
No, it isn't.
They send you to Leavenworth for that shit.
It isn't a life sentence because he broke free of it. All right.
He's not a white rapper anymore?
No.
Damn.
Something snapped. He stopped rapping and started killing grandpops.
More than two?
No, his one grandpop.
Okay.
All right, so this motherfucker, if
The
you go
other
to
one
his
committed
Facebook profile,
suicide.
and we should have, do we have a picture of him up yet? All right, cool.
shit.
So this is
There we go.
our dear friend Colby Allen Parker. Now, please take note of the apron in the background because that's going to come into play later. Now, bear in mind, too, when I said he's not a rapper anymore, so when you see him at the end, he is not going to look like this. All right, so he is on something called, if you go to his Facebook profile, you'll see a link for something called Rap Chat, which is a lot like SoundCloud. And when you go to that, you can have a listen to all the songs that he created. You want to hear?
Is his flow sick?
No.
Damn it.
It's terrible. But he does have some pretty sick sounding songs. He's got Hotboxin' to Coop,
Sick?
Drankin' Again,
Yes.
and my personal favorite, Payday Baby.
Yes. This guy rules.
Pretty
What?
catchy.
What is it, Mike?
A Payday Baby.
Thank you for... I don't care if you heard it the first time. I hope you just wanted to hear it again.
But I will say this, Payday Baby is by far the catchiest one out of the 50 fucking songs that he has on his Rap Snacks. Fucking,
You've listened to all 50?
Not all of them, though. But I did listen to a lot of them. And if you go through this motherfucker's Facebook profile, you can see that at one point he seems like a decent human being. There's a lot of pictures of him with family. There's pictures of him and his grandfather.
Damn.
Like there's one of he and his grandfather just hanging out with their shirts off. They've clearly been getting high with what I perceive to be his grandfather's son, Ronald. So the grandfather's name is Ronald Wells Sr., and the other guy in the picture is Ronald Wells Jr.
That's his Uncle Ron.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
that's his uncle. I couldn't put those together, man.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so my grandfather's son. Is it your dad or your uncle, motherfucker?
Listen, you introduced me as a fucking retard, and I'm not disappointing.
Yeah.
But in the picture, you see him chilling with his grandfather with his shirt off, which is never a good sign. Like, if you're chilling with your grandfather, you want it to be him in the ICU, just maybe coherent enough to give a thumbs up to the camera before he passes away. You never want to be chilling on a porch after with shirts off, clearly just getting high with your pop-pop.
Just that look on your face like, kill me.
But that's clearly that's the kind of relationship they have. He's boys with his pop-pop, Ronald Wells Sr.
That rules.
That is
Well-
a specific kind of southern trash. That's like,
That's part of why I love Florida.
all right.
You want to chill with your
Trying-
pop-up?
I would not want to get high with my pop-up.
Let me backtrack a little bit. Is your pop-up dead?
No, not the one I don't want to get high with.
All right, so on top of all this, like, he seems like a good guy. He's got pictures with his grandmom, who he clearly loves very much. On top of that, too, this motherfucker's always got a fundraiser cooking for other people. He put together a Juneteenth fundraiser. He put together a fundraiser for St. Jude's Pediatric Cancer Care Research.
Wow.
Yeah, nice
guy,
fucking guy.
yeah.
All right, so, but at some point, you can tell something goes wrong.
What they put up? What picture is it?
Oh, yes, dude.
Sticker on the hat?
All right, so this is clearly in Heartbreak the Kid phase.
Which one is?
Danny, would you be able to progress through his
nice.
his fanning money out phase? Because there's a couple other ones where he's look at that, dude. When white rappers break their arm, they don't put a cast on it. They just fan out dollar bills and they walk around like this for 6 weeks. And there might be one more of him doing that with a foot like this. Oh no! So this is a dog who I give the dog a lot of credit. When police came to his house after he murders his pop-pop, the dog is a ride or die, and the dog is trying to attack police.
Whoa.
So, yeah, it is an unbreakable bond. That picture is not fucking around. So backtracking a little bit, something goes wrong here. So it's March 13th, 2021. There's some kind of dispute between old fucking Colby and his pop-pop, Ronald Wells
This
Sr.
just happened.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
Wow.
Something goes wrong. They're smoking high. Smoking high.
Damn it, you've been out the game for a minute, dude.
Loser.
Smoking some of that high, aren't you?
That reminds me. Do you want to get yourself high at any point?
I should probably get myself high.
You
right?
should. Yeah, let me hold this for you.
Don't tell anybody.
I'm telling Colby Parker.
Every time it's funny.
So at some point while smoking high with his grandfather, something goes wrong. And at about 6:30 on this evening, a 911 call is placed by Ronald Wells Jr.
Okay.
Jr. calls and he says that his father has been attacked by Colby. The police show up, and when the police show up, Ronald Wells Sr., the pop-pop, is laying on the porch. His head's been bashed in with a bat.
Oof.
He's been stabbed in the chest 4 times.
Jesus.
And he's had a couple body parts cut off.
God damn.
Mike, was the recliner already at the sidewalk?
People were already eyeing up the fucking lazy boy.
All right, so please get there. And there is video of this. We couldn't get it to play, but if you go to the Orlando Sentinel's website and just type in Colby Parker, you'll be able to see this 4-minute video. There's police body cam footage of them arriving on the scene, and it starts off with they have Colby Parker. Now, they clearly see him, hands bloody, standing next to the severely beaten and stabbed and dismembered old man.
Not
Yet
a
they
good look.
don't fucking handcuff this guy.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
All right. So they set this motherfucker down on the tailgate of a pickup truck in the driveway. You hear the dog going at it in the background. This dog's a real fucking ride or die.
Dude.
The police are questioning him. They're like, man, tell us what happened. He's like, I don't know, man. They're like, all right, well, we're going to pat you down. Do you got anything sharp? He's like, no, I don't. So fucking Colby Parker stands up. The cop pats him down. And you hear the cop say, there's something hard but soft to the touch, but I don't need to take it out of your pants. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think he thinks he's got 2 dicks in his pants.
Yeah.
He doesn't take them out. They allow Colby to sit back down on the tailgate of the truck and try to explain himself in regards to why his pop-up is now laying dead on the fucking front
Did
porch.
he like explain like how this Colby beef happened?
He's heating up. Ferment.
Wag you motherfucker. But Jake, his explanation for why this happened was that they were smoking weed, but the weed had something in it.
Oh, it was wet.
Okay.
Probably.
He was smoking that wet high.
He probably was. This is wet behavior. So the cops are asking him what's going on, and he says, yeah, we were smoking weed that had something in it. And they're like, well, where's Ronald Jr., referring to the guy that placed the 911 call. And he's like, man, I don't know. They're like, Colby, where's Ronald Jr.? Colby stands up. He empties his pockets, and he goes, here's Ronald Sr., and here's Ronald Jr., and he's got both of his grandfather's ears in his hands. And the cops are like, what are those? And you hear the cop off camera go, yeah, those are ears.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What are those?
And they're like, all right, dude, we have to figure something out now. So they allow him to sit back down by just placing the ears on the side of the pickup truck. They allow him to sit back down, and they're like, all right, man, why did you do this? And he says the words that you never want to hear a grandson say to a pop-up, which are, I wanted him to be with my mom. So sweet, isn't it? I feel the same way, too.
But I didn't want him to hear shit, so I kept his ears. Because that bitch would never shut up.
And at one point during the fucking pickup truck interrogation, Colby asked the one cop who's asking him the questions, he's like, can I see your gun, bro?
You gotta try.
You have to at least
Shoot
once.
your shot, dude.
Yeah. I'll trade you these ears for your gun. But the cop wouldn't give him the gun, so at that point, he tries to attack another cop. And the cop's body cam falls off. It doesn't shut off, which is typically the case. It just falls off onto the ground. And fortunately for all of us that are going to watch the video when we get home tonight, It falls off to the point where Colby is now face down, staring directly at the camera, making a very funny face while the police are trying to subdue him. They eventually get him. They bring him in, and they go into the fucking house. They go into the trailer, and upon entering the trailer, one of the first things they see is in Colby's bedroom, which is an apron. Danny, can you bring that picture up? Of the apron, it says the family butcher, and if you'll notice here, there's a plastic ear already on the fucking apron.
What?
There's also an eyeball, and tell me what you guys think. I think one of these two is a penis. Bottom. All right, we got a bigger penis down here. What about the top? Where are my light switch kings at? You guys think this is a dick or what?
Mike, is this like a custom-made thing, or did you buy this, or did you get it at Things Remembered?
Oh, you mean things dismembered? That's where I got it from. But they arrest old Colby Parker, and they sentence him to 50 years in prison. He gets a trial about a year later. They sentence him to 50 years in prison. Now, through further research, I found something that I had never seen before in any kind of murder case. Danny, if you could bring this document up, I would love to show people it. But it's a no-contact order between Colby and his dead grandfather.
That just means he's not allowed to go to the grave, or like.
Well, one of the things mentioned in this document is that he's not allowed to contact the dead grandfather on Facebook or LinkedIn.
Dude, what? What if he's got a really good job for him?
What kind of job do you think a degenerate pop-pop would have for old Colby here?
Walmart greeter.
Yeah.
You would make a great Walmart greeter, wouldn't he? Look at those dumb eyes.
Thanks.
That hair parted down the center of his head.
You already got a vest.
True.
Yeah.
Not the right color, though.
Yeah.
Jake, what's the dumbest job you've had?
Oh, man. Everyone.
What?
Camp counselor. That was pretty dumb.
What camp was that at?
I remember I scared a little kid that the mom came and yelled at me because
Why did you scare a little boy?
there was so there was a park that we played in. It was a park for murdered children. That's
Oh,
a
I know
terrible
that park.
place
I've
to
cleaned
be.
that park up before. It's in Aston, isn't it?
It's in Chai, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nearby.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Outside the police
park
station.
for murdered
Yes.
children.
Listen.
Very grim.
Do you guys want to go to the park? Of course not.
John,
It's the murdered children park. What the
You're walking
Listen.
through a trail and it's just like poor little kid after little kid as mile markers like through this thing. It's pretty sad.
it's a pretty sad
very
place.
sad.
I used to go there during my perk era because I felt so bad about doing pills that I would want to do something nice for the community. So on Saturdays, I would go to the Chichester Murdered Kids Park and clean up trash.
Yeah, when I was
It's nice, but I still don't know why. Is the path called like the murder mile? Why are they doing this? What is it?
It's to commemorate murder victims, so their families will have a nice place to reflect.
All right,
And
I understand.
Jake was teasing
sentiment.
dead children there.
as a camp counselor, I brought kids in there, and the ones who would act up, I would tell them ghost stories by pointing at one.
Like,
I was young. I was like
Jake.
18. All right.
I mean, Furman.
yeah, no, it was a bad time in my life. I regret it 100%.
All right, can you reenact one of those stories for us right now, Jake?
Yeah.
Pretend John and I are bad children.
Oh man, it's like, oh, you see, little Debbie. You okay?
motherfucker. Yeah, she's chilling with Wendy in the Burger King.
Every child Jake interacts with turns into a little Debbie.
I call them all Little Debbie, so it's terrible. I was like, oh, you see Little Debbie there? She was walking through the woods and she wasn't listening to her camp counselor, and the slicer came through.
Jake.
You made up a slicer?
Yeah, I made up a slicer. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And the parents were pissed.
No
the
shit.
next day, yeah, he wasn't in my group anymore.
You were allowed to work there still?
They were hard up. They needed counselors.
Every story I find out about Jake is more disturbing than the previous one.
Yeah, I regret it.
You want to go there sometime, John?
Absolutely not.
All right, well, Furman and I are holding a camp there next summer, so.
I'm actually not allowed back. Just kidding.
Well, I have FOMO, so I guess I will go. You guys can't hang out without me.
All right, you guys, we're going to do a Q&A, so if anybody has any questions for us, we'd be happy to answer them. And Danny, we have a mic back here if anybody...
Wait, did we show that guy's mugshot yet?
Oh.
Oh, did we?
Because he looks a lot like me if I lost a fight.
No, he looks like John
and
if
80
things went
pounds.
right.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me tomorrow night with a face full of horse shit on Broad Street.
If you like, yeah.
I couldn't figure out...
Clydesdale to hit me in the face.
I couldn't figure out what his neck tattoo was. Do you guys think that's a gorilla? Yeah, I think that could be it.
Maybe it's an ear. Oh, can I go to a tattoo artist in prison? Like, hey, can I get Pop-Up's ears on my neck?
He's a good-looking guy, though.
He is handsome.
He really turned it around.
He really did, yeah. He got handsome in prison. That's usually what happens. That's the last thing you want to happen in prison.
There's Danny Dubs right there, bro.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, any questions that anybody has about any murder stuff? Oh, has anybody been following the Delphi investigation? Pretty fucked up. They finally got somebody, though.
My dad just watches it all day.
Dude, it's, do you think they're done? You think that guy's it?
I see. I was asked. Everything's through him. He's the one that watches it, and all he can tell you is, "I don't know, man." And I was like, "Well, why? Did they know I did it?" I'm like, and so I have no idea.
I've never heard of a weirder case. If you guys aren't familiar, in 2017, it was February 13th, 2017, 2 little girls were murdered in Delphi, Indiana, on this really beautiful trail. And wait a minute, now that I'm telling the story, how dare you think Jake and I are weird for going to murdered kids parks? You went to me to investigate a double murder,
You literally
dickhead.
went to a murdered children park.
You paid for my flight. It would have been rude if I said no.
But for real, like 2 kids were murdered in 2017, and nobody had any answers. They weren't any closer to solving this case a fucking year and a half ago or whenever we went. So John and I went out there to see if we could put our retard brains together and try to figure out what happened. We didn't figure out what happened, but we did stop at a Pizza Hut in town. And ironically, the actual murderer that they just arrested last week was working about 100 yards away from that Pizza Hut at that time. So we got close to catching him, I think.
You got this close. I went in there, too. I asked for the manager. I remember.
What did you say?
I said, my card got declined.
Yeah, didn't you go in there for gout medication?
Probably. Some foot cream.
But yeah, if this is if you're interested in this kind of stuff, yeah, check this out because they finally arrested a guy, but it doesn't sound like that's going to be the only arrest. There's probably going to be a lot more. I don't know about a lot more, but there will be more.
Yeah, that's what David Muir on World News Tonight implied the other night.
You don't watch the news. Shut up.
Caught red-handed. Fuck. All right, yeah. Any questions about murderers or
Jake hanging out in parks?
Taco Bell? I finished my Taco Bell quest today. If anybody's wondering. Thank you. 30 tacos.
Dude.
And plus another 22 tacos. I ate 52 tacos in a month.
Is there any information you want to divulge about that taco quest that you're not being forthcoming with right now?
No, there's not. I
there were-
had 30 tacos in 30 days. That's all that happened.
If there was a DraftKings over-under on who would eat 30 tacos in 30 days, dude.
Yeah, whoever bet on me just won big time.
All right, you want to leave it at that?
We will leave it at that, Mike.
All right, he did eat 30 tacos in 30 days, so I give you a lot of credit.
That's all I ever
Thank you.
wanted from you.
Oh, by the way, we finally figured out a name because we'd been talking about on numerous podcast episodes what the name could possibly be for... You know how sometimes there's a circle and all the guys in the circle are butt-fucking each other?
You know how sometimes...
Sometimes you walk into a room and they're all holding each other's hips.
Oh, shit, wrong door.
All right, what do you guys think that's called when a bunch of guys stand in a circle and they're all butt-fucking each other? Romeo Circle, yeah.
Romeo Circle!
They already know.
And that's why God decided to put us on Romeo Circle in Kissimmee, Florida.
He did. We talked about this thing for fucking probably months, and then last week when we checked into our Airbnb, as luck would have it, our Airbnb was located on a street called Romeo Circle.
It fell in our lap.
It's perfection.
No, it fell in our butts, dude. All right, who's got a question?
Anybody out there?
Literally anybody.
Dear God. No.
Uh-oh, we got one over here.
Got one over here, Danny? All right.
How did you get into it? Why did you start laying down?
Into the Romeo circle? That's a great question. Well, I had a 4-inch penis and the guy behind me had an 8-incher. Into what? I don't know. I'm just a creep. And I could probably leave the answer at that, but I'll elaborate a little further. The first true crime case that I remember that caught my attention was The Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. There was a guy that wrote a book, I think his name was Philip DiCarlo, wrote a book called The Night Stalker about the case. My mom bought it for me, and it was the scariest fucking thing I'd ever read. I think I was probably, he got caught in 1987, so I was probably 8 years old at the time, and my mother bought me this book for some reason.
Did she know what it was?
It's called The Night Stalker. What could it possibly be about, dickhead?
I don't know how fucking dumb your mom is, Mike.
Pretty fucking dumb, dude. Yeah, so that was like the first thing that I read, and it absolutely scared the shit out of me. So much so that one of the first nights that I was reading it, I was in my bedroom, I had my air conditioner blasting, and my mom burst in the door to say goodnight, and like I did like a fucking a Disney Channel movie kid jump off the bed, and the book flew in the air, and she's like, you need to stop reading that fucking book. Well, stop buying me fucking murder books when I'm 8 years old, you dumb bitch. So that's the long answer, and then also Helter Skelter was a book that got me too. Like that's pretty wild.
I just have relatives buy me Seekin finds. Still to this day.
Are you talking about word searches?
Word searches, yes, word searches.
What's that, like a child CPAP machine?
So you just circle words, that's all. But dude, the serial killer thing, I met Mike like 10 years ago. And like I remember we had a mutual friend, we all went out to eat together. I'm like, oh cool, I've heard so much about Mike. And then he just starts going off about Charles Manson. I'm like, I don't like this guy. This guy is making me very uneasy with this stuff.
Yeah, I have the social skills of a feral cat, so as soon as I get nervous, I just start talking about Charles Manson.
Yeah.
And I don't like this stuff.
Yeah.
I am still not a true crime fan. I don't know how I got wrapped into this.
Yeah, there's times where like John and I will finish the podcast, and I'll keep talking, and John's like just packing his shit up, going, And Jake's the kindest human being on the planet, so he'll like at least look me in the eye and be like, wow, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're into that.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling Furman probably likes murder, just like I do.
No, I don't. That wasn't a very convincing deny. But no, I don't. I mean, I I'll watch the occasional mystery.
What's mysterious to you?
I watched was it The Bone Collector? That was mysterious.
Is that about Mrs. Del Calo?
Oh.
Dang.
I asked for that
Fried
one.
his ass.
I asked for it. Thanks.
Any other questions?
We got a question back here.
Oh, hang on, before we get to him. Go ahead, buddy.
Do you have a favorite fictional murderer?
You know what? One that I like, partially because I love the movie so much, and partially because we saw his haunted house at Halloween Horror Nights, was the villain Ethan Hawke from The Black Phone. That scared me. Did you guys see that?
I haven't seen it.
It spooked me out. That movie is a pretty spooky movie. Me too, man. Dude, you can't even tell it's Ethan Hawke, which was great because you'd instantly fall in love with Ethan Hawke because he's so fucking handsome and charismatic. But
Does he take his shirt off in it?
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
Pause.
He's joining the Romeo Circle.
Yeah,
He's starting it.
He's starting the Romeo Circle.
he does take. He's sitting in the kitchen shirtless to prevent this little boy from leaving his house. Mask on, fucking jacked. I didn't see the last 40 minutes of the movie because I got kicked out for jacking off.
We call Mike old Pee Wee Herman over here.
But yeah, he might be my favorite fictional one. I'm trying to think of any others that I like a lot. So if you guys have like another 25 minutes, I'm going to sit here and think about that.
What about what's his name? The Silence of the Lambs guy.
Oh yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah, he's a fake one. Yeah, right. There's Gary Heidnick, right? Or
No, he's here.
Oh, he's real. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary Heidnick was like a fucking murderer from like a few miles away, and we did an episode on him, but I would like to go visit his old house, but Danny is not bringing his equipment there.
Absolutely
Yeah, I understand.
not happening.
You know what? I drove by H.H. Holmes's unmarked grave to get here tonight.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh, in Yaden, if you guys are local.
Yeah.
Place called Holy Cross Cemetery. I don't know where the fuck it is, but it's somewhere in there.
Did somebody just say that's where my dad's buried?
Your dad is buried next to H.H. Holmes? That rules.
They're next to each other? Are they H.H. homies now?
He's that quick.
Dude, that's got to be so cool when like your spirit's like rising up out of the grave and you're just kicking it around and you look next to you and H.H. Holmes is right there, just talking about the landscaping at the cemetery. Do you have a favorite fictional guy?
Yeah, I like the dude from season 1 of True Detective.
Oh, he was great. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's
The spaghetti monster.
Spaghetti Monster.
Not the Yellow King. The Yellow King was a pile of sticks. People don't realize that. It was very misunderstood, the ending of True Detective. All right, now
Wait.
I have to fucking talk for 25
Wait,
minutes.
wasn't
Mister? I don't like crime. Get out of here.
you said
I know it's fictional, but I thought you didn't like murder at all. You weirdo.
I just like seeing Woody Allen or Woody Harrelson.
Woody Allen.
I just like seeing Woody Allen. That's what I like.
Yeah, murder's fucking for him, but he just loves Woody Allen. Yeah.
That's just my thing. I'm a Woody Allen.
Starts playing the clarinet.
I don't like him that much. I don't get the reference.
We had another question back there.
Right here.
Good.
I have a question. This one's for Jacob.
Oh, God.
How do you sleep at night, Jacob?
How do you sleep at night, Jake?
And why do you keep buying lactose-free milk? It's not working, Jacob.
It's supposed
It's
to.
not working at all, Jacob.
It's supposed to reduce the bloat.
Oh, it increases the blow in my heart, Jacob.
Oh my God, it's the Diddler. Give it up for the Diddler, everybody.
That fucking Diddler.
Come on up here, Diddler.
I don't like this.
This
Oh,
motherfucker.
my.
Well, please don't clap for him.
Right. You look great, Diddler. Please join us up here.
Oh, thank
Welcome.
you.
Welcome, Diddler.
Thank you.
You look
Jonathan?
like shit.
Jake, you're not his captive anymore. Show some fucking manners.
I thought we buried the hatchet, Jacob.
I missed you, Diddler.
I know you did.
Hi.
How is everyone doing tonight? Okay, fine. Fantastic.
Is the Diddler doing crowd work?
Where are you from? A man walks into a bar. Ow.
That's pretty good.
Right.
Diddler, I have some questions for you. Please have a seat.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Diddler, since Jake escaped from your basement, is there anybody who could potentially be a new captive that's on your radar?
So the problem was, a lot of the time, Jonathan, I thought we were past this now. You know, you've got one of those arms that looks delectable, but not as bad as Jacob's over there.
You better calm down.
So, first off, I'd like you to smell my thumb, John.
Oh, why does it smell like that?
Because it was Halloween the other day. There was a lot of children out. And I was dressed like the one black lady from Downton Abbey. It did not go over well. But I did manage to have sex with someone. So that worked out for me. I never found their legs. And they will never find the body. So it works out just fine.
Jake, do you have any questions for the Diddler now that you're free?
I don't want to talk.
Ask
to
him a
this
question.
Do you want me to stay in between you guys?
What
Jacob, you have not returned any of my phone calls. I've sent you several emails, several pictures within the emails.
Yeah, please stop with the pictures. I have a family.
I know you have a family, and I want to be part of it.
It's pretty full over here, okay?
No, it's not full yet. Not at all yet.
Jake, I don't understand why you act like this. I've never seen somebody just so flat out rude to someone who's trying to connect. It's clear that he doesn't have anyone.
Mike, he held me captive.
You're lovable.
This would make it okay to capture me.
You keep acting like you didn't like it. You keep acting like I held you against your will. You woke up every day and we had waffle crisp.
We're good. It's a good waffle crisp.
Was it the cereal?
Yeah, the cereal.
With the burglars?
Yeah, it was at very past the expiration date. That would mean easily
I would
20
come
years
down
past.
with a little burglar mask on and be like, it's time for waffle crisp, Jacob. And you would get so excited.
That was the best part of the day. That was it.
That's the best part. Not the hugs.
Can you please elaborate, Diddler?
Please don't elaborate, Diddler. I don't want to hear.
We would fall asleep.
Stop.
I would put on the B-side of Warren Zevon's first album,
It's my favorite album.
and we would fall asleep in each other's arms, and you would then wake up and just, oh, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? And then I would just bite your earlobe until you would fall back asleep, Jacob. Tell me that wasn't just a slice of heaven for you.
It was nice, but again, I was held captive.
Again, define captivity. I went to you, and clearly, yes, you did resist. And clearly, there was a struggle. And clearly, I had chains. And clearly, I put you in the basement. And clearly, when you woke up, soiling yourself, I cleaned you up, gave you more of a purpose in your life now. Do you love your children, Jacob?
Of course.
Do you love your wife,
Yes.
Jacob? How often do you look her in the eye and thank every day that you have her?
Every single moment.
You're fucking welcome.
Wow. I never really thought of it like that.
You never did. Your face was too full of cock and balls to think of that, Jacob. You couldn't think at all. If you were a transformer, you'd be Gagatron. That's what your name would be, Jacob.
Diddler, does this provide any form of closure for you?
No! Not at all. Do you know what it's like to wake up in the morning and go down to your unfinished basement and not have anyone crying for help? Impossible to sleep. I used to download children crying just to try to get a wink, and it wouldn't work. It does not make up for a man such as yourself, Jacob, yelling from the basement, "Come on now! I don't know where I am! Who did this?"
Jake, would it kill you before we wrap things up just to cry a little bit for him again?
Jacob, if you cry for me now, I swear to God, I will return most of your underwear. If you cry for me now, I will stop leaving messages in my feces next to your feces in the toilet. Don't ask me how I get in. Don't ask me how I get in.
How do you get in?
Jacob, do you remember when we played a small game where I said, "How many locks do you have on the door?"
Yeah, I remember.
And I told you very jokingly, mind you, that if you didn't tell me, I'd pull out all of your teeth and then put them inside of your anus, pushing them in with a small stick.
Yes, I remember this.
And then I said, if you didn't tell me, I would cut your eyes out. Remember how fun that was?
He's crying. Jake, more.
Jake,
I'm not crying.
Jake. Ow, werewolves are landing. Ow. Draw blood, Jake. Show me that tease, man.
Sorry, Diddler.
Why are you apologizing to him now?
I don't know.
What the fuck happened?
I just want waffle crisp.
My heart is so full now, and I want to take this time to maybe apologize to you, Jacob. I'm sorry I threatened you so much over the last 10 months, and I'm sorry that you woke up to multiple bite marks on the inner thighs.
I knew they weren't bed bugs.
No, but I was buggering around for one. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to...
Thank you very much for coming out tonight, everybody.
We got one more special guest, everybody. Give it up for the Swiss cheese pervert. Oh, man.
Nah, we're teasing. There's no Swiss cheese pervert. Listen, we appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We can't thank you enough for coming out tonight. I know there was other shit going on, but you guys came here tonight. It means the world to us. So thank you for everything. I love you guys, and I hope to see you again soon. Good night.
Thanks, guys. I love you.
Thanks, guys. You guys are the best.